guys, it's Katie, and I'm here today to do the Myers-Briggs Book Tag. I was tagged by Vendy from Caught Between Pages, and this is just such an interesting and unique and unusual tag, and I'm super excited to get into it. So basically how this works, if you aren't familiar with the MBTI test, it's a personality test. That's kind of what this tag is all about. But the first thing you're going to want to do before you launch into the questions is, if you don't know your Myers-Briggs personality type, you're going to want to go take one of the tests. And then once you find out what your acronym is, then you can answer the questions that are set up for each letter. So for instance, I haven't taken this test since high school. And I mean, I don't think my personality has necessarily changed, or if it has, I don't care. I identify as how I identify, and that's perfectly fine with me. But I know that it can, but I'm just not going to bother retaking the test. Personality type is an INFJ, which stands for introvert, intuition, feeling, and judging. So so my overall acronym is an INFJ. So the way that this is done is, as I said, each letter for the acronym has a question associated with it. So you don't answer all of the questions, you only answer the ones that are associated with your acronym. I hope I explained that well enough, but I'm just going to launch right into the questions. This one for me is I, introvert. You can be outgoing, but need to recharge with some calming solitude. What is your favorite place to read and unwind, and why is this little oasis where you choose to go? So I always, 95% of the time, I read in this particular room when I'm here, and it's just such a good place for me to come and unwind, because I am less likely to be bothered when I'm in here, especially if I close the door. But it's just so comfortable and cozy, and it's got all of my favorite things and just all these things that I just have grown up with and know, and everything I know is here, and everything that I'm comfortable is here. I'm less likely to be distracted in this room than pretty much everywhere else, because as I said, I know where everything is, and just it's my space. It's organized the way I want it and how I want it, and because I'm less likely to be bothered, and it's just so cozy. Like in the winter, it's the hottest room in the house. In the summer, it's the coolest room in the house. So I mean, it's just the perfect place for me to go, and it's just so soothing and comforting. So I love being in here. Number 2, intuition. Some books are meant to be understood and others are meant to be explored. What book or character stands for an idea that is deeply meaningful to you? So this is a really interesting question, because I can think of a lot of different characters and books that are really meaningful to me. However, I'm going to pick something that might surprise some people, and I'm going to say that a character that I see as being incredibly meaningful is Dobby from Harry Potter. He represents a lot of what I strive towards, because not only is he optimistic, even in just some really, really tough, difficult times, but he's so optimistic and happy despite his situation all the time, and he never stops fighting for what he believes. Never. From the day that he meets Harry all the way down to, his, spoiler, untimely death in book 7, and he's just always fighting. He's always being, he represents a shining light in a dark place, and I just love him because of his, as I said, his optimism and his never ending drive. Like, he's just fighting for the rights of his people and his kind forever. And despite having a horrible master at first, once he's, he He's willing to do whatever it takes to protect those that he loves and that he cares about. And that's something that I know that I have a little bit of it, but it's also something that I strive towards more than I already do. Sometimes I find it to be quite difficult to be optimistic and happy in darker times. So, I mean, that's something that I really, really strive towards. So, Dobie just represents so much good and pureness. And as I said, I love him. Next is F, feeling. Not everything needs to be realistic. Where is the fun in a world with limits? Which fantasy world do you find so atmospheric you slip inside and never want to leave? But simply a book with good vibes. So you guys know this answer. You do know this answer. Am I going to say it anyway? Yep. Obviously, I'm picking The World of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb, but in particular, I'm picking a specific aspect of the world because, as you know by now, or if you don't, I'm going to link up above my reading order spoilery-free series overview thing, whatever, so you can hear a little bit about how life works in that series. But the particular sub-series I'm automatically jumps in my mind is the Live Ship Traders trilogy, which is the second trilogy in the overall world, because it's so perfectly atmospheric, and because I literally live and breathe for sea things. Hi, sea channel name. It's just the perfect place, the perfect part of the world for me. It's just what really, really made me fall deeply, madly in love with this series. I mean, as I said, I love Farseer, and the whole world is atmospheric and beautiful, and I don't want to leave it, but I particularly love the live ship books because of it just ran that extra mile for me. Last one is J, judging. All play and no work leads to chaotic disorder and anarchy. How do you structure and balance your reading, booktube, and personal life to better use your time? I think I've talked a little bit about this before, but I usually read at night right before I go to bed. It's just a very calming and relaxing thing to do, and especially because I don't have much time to read during the day. But in terms of personal life, I don't have one anyway. I'm in law school, friends. I do not have a personal life. My personal life involves texting people, so that's not too difficult. But the little personal life I do have, I mostly just get meals with people. Like, I have a really good friend at law school, and we go out and eat at least once a week, or we'll just like find time during the day if we have like a similar schedule or whatever. We'll chat for an hour here or there or whatever. But as I said, I mostly just don't have a social life. But in terms of booktube, I pretty much watch all of the videos in the morning, or if you post in the afternoon and I have like a little bit of a break, I might squeeze it in or something. But as for filming, I tend to film on the weekends because I have a little bit more time and my schedule's like tiny bit more flexible. I don't know. My life is just weird because of school and stuff. But I usually do it then, or if I know that I have like an hour chunk, whatever, I'll just sit down and I'll film. Editing, it also depends. Sometimes I'll film a lot at once and then I'll edit in chunks just to make my life easier, because I pre-film and I post things and schedule them to go out on certain days, even though I could have filmed them like a month or two before. It's just constantly knowing how to manage your time and scheduling your day accordingly and things like that. I'm a very big planner, and so I just generally know how I'm gonna structure any given day. And I mean, sometimes will I sacrifice one thing for another? Yeah, but for the most part, I think I organize myself and my life okay. Not great, but okay. So now for the last step of this, they actually, the creator put the entire acronym and gave a question to the overall thing. So as I said, I am an INFJ, and that is the counselor. And so the question is, yes, we're a bit odd, but we're also filled with intuition and empathy. You bet we are. Book you would recommend to a friend having a hard time. You can have a friend in mind if that helps. So regardless of who you are, I'm going to recommend a book that I've talked about a fair amount over the last couple weeks, and that is OMG Check Please by Ngozi. It's just such a good, pure, happy book, comic thing. Basically, just if you're having the bad day, pick it up and get cozy and grab a cup of tea or some chocolate or whatever your fancy is, and just read about Biddy's life and his college shenanigans, because it's so cute and good. I mean, it's got great friendships, great familial relationships, it's got baking goodness, it's got fun sports things. It's got something for absolutely everyone, but it is so heartwarming and so happy. It'll just brighten your whole day. It'll make you feel better, and you will be soaring on cloud 9 for a while after you do that. So yeah, I'm really gonna recommend that to pretty much anyone who's having a bad day. Those are all the questions, and I'm probably going to tag a few people. I'll just link you down in the description below, because I have to go check out to see who hasn't done this yet. But I think it's a relatively new tag that's come out, so I'm sure I'll find 1 or 2 people that haven't done it. But yeah, that's about all I've got for you today. So as always, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media. I have a Twitter and Goodreads that are always linked below. And I have other social media sites upon request if you'd like. And I will come back with another video for you guys again soon. Okay, bye.